On Facebook. This is Kenny, one of our newest rescues. This is Lucille, getting some butt scratches. It's a Grace. Morning, everybody. I'm in with, how many are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of our newest rescues. They've been here a little over 2 weeks. I think they're ready for some volunteer loving. Kenny, Lucille. Got a Grace and a Jamie right here. Someone's making it hard to see. Got a Suzanne and a Pepe. All these guys are actually pretty nice. I'd say the most nervous donkey in here is Jamie, which is a little boy playing with Grace right now. And he's not that nervous, but I'd just say overall he's the most nervous donkey in here. You can walk up to pretty much everybody in here now. I mean, obviously not every time. Sometimes they run away or walk away. Everyone's starting to get better, slowly but surely. Still have a little virus going around. It's now our 2 youngest in here, Jamie and Grace, right here at the feeder. They're a couple days in, but doing pretty good considering. Yeah, I usually just don't hang out with these guys that often. I'm usually in here cleaning or herding them to get them through the chute system so I can tempt them and give them medicine. So I was hanging out in here for about 15 minutes beforehand, just so they wouldn't be so nervous of me coming in. I'm pretty happy with everyone in here. Everyone also looks kind of funny because we've shaved their sides when they first got here, some of them. Actually, everybody pretty much got shaved, so we could see their lungs through a ultrasound. It's an easy way to tell if they have pneumonia or the beginning stages of pneumonia, because a lot of times they'll have something going on but they're not showing any symptoms. So being able to see their lungs before they show symptoms is great. Helps us kind of get ahead of the sickness. Alright, I'm gonna go say hi to Momo and Tete. Momo and Tete is probably our sickest, for sure, confirmed cases of salmonella. That oxygen system is a really bad place for sicknesses. Just if anybody has forgotten, but tomorrow is Ron's birthday. So make sure y'all tell him happy birthday tomorrow. You could even tell him now, because I think he's still on here. I think he turns like 32 or something. So since I've been in quarantine, I won't be able to go into any other pastures, but I will walk around without going into pastures. But in here, we have Rodney and Marie. They are slowly getting less nervous. They're still pretty nervous, but medicine is getting easier, thankfully. This one right here is Marie. This other one is Rodney. For some reason, I just have this feeling that Rodney, the boy, is the son to Marie. I mean, I obviously could be wrong. We don't know any of their history, but just how they act. It's like kind of a tell sign for me. But, you know, they could have came from the same farm. Even have the same ear movement. I don't know if y'all notice that. Oh, there we go. That's beginning there, both moving their left ear. They're both pretty big donkeys. They kind of just throw me around when I try to give them medicine every day. Marie makes it very known that she does not like to have her temperature taken. But they're moving in the right direction. They're actually, these were our sickest donkeys, I think, when they first arrived, and they are doing pretty good, in my opinion. They haven't had a temperature in a while. I'm gonna set my phone down, see if it falls. All right. Alright, so this is Rodney and Marie. Hey dude, you're fine. Over here we have Momo and Tete. These are our two with confirmed cases of salmonella. It's pretty crazy for them to have something so serious because they're very slight temperatures a few times in the past few weeks. Really, their only other symptom is kind of lack of appetite. Other than that, like, you wouldn't know they're sick. No coughing. Actually, I take that back. They've definitely been coughing. No fevers, though. No runny noses. Just a lack of appetite and a cough. But they're doing better, so. We just kind of have them isolated from the rest because these two were dealing with the most serious thing. We don't, even though they all came together and they've all been exposed to the same things, sometimes the viruses don't stick, but they stick with these two, so they'll be isolated for a little while. We believe this is also probably a mom and daughter pair. It's usually what it comes down to when you have bonded companions. Alright, so I'm gonna walk around. We have these huge feeders. I believe we have a post on Facebook to sell them. I want to say we sell them for $3.50 each. So if you're watching this and want to buy a feeder and you're in Northern California, $350 a piece. They're normally like $500, and they'll last a lifetime. We've changed all our feeders to these wood ones. Donkeys are smart. they will pull out all the hay and straw and then eat the hay only and leave a bunch of straw on the ground. So we started using these wood feeders instead. It keeps them from throwing hay out. Majority of the donkeys are way over there. So every day we feed pasture 1 at the end of the track. It's way out at the front of the property. So about this time they start heading back. They all come back almost as a pack. Just a huge herd of donkeys come, and they all drink water, try to drink water at the same time. This one right here laying down is Daisy. That right there is Alexandra. Fran. That looks like Renee, Cassie, Zeus, Sophie. And whoever that is, I can't tell. It's just a beautiful day at OP today. Today's high is supposed to be about 78. It's like perfect weather. So Ron thought Renee was gonna have a baby like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. She started doing some signs that she's getting ready to give birth. Lots of laying down, kind of probably moving the baby around in there. So, but she hasn't had a baby yet. But every day we check her to make sure there's no baby here. It's hard to know when she got pregnant or when exactly she's due because she arrived here pregnant. No breeding happens at Oscar's place. All of our boys are castrated, and if they're not castrated, they're only around other boys until they are castrated. So yeah, we have a few expecting moms. I'm unsure if we've moved donkeys around yet. We might have. Let me walk up here. So we have 6 pastures at Oscar's place. Majority of our pastures are mixed pastures, minus pasture 6, which is a bunch of boys. Pasture 1, this pasture right here that they're cleaning. This is a bunch of moms, teenagers, and babies, and some solo donkeys. Over there, I'll walk over there actually. Over here is our quarantine area. They're kind of away from our herd, so it's really hard to spread anything if they did have something, which we know they do. It's really important you don't put animals in with your herd because you don't know what they have. As of now, our herd is pretty much parasite free, but every time we bring in a new rescue, they go through a whole rigorous protocol to make sure they are completely healthy before we put them in with our herd, because we do not want to have our herd getting sick. So this is pasture 3. This is our senior pasture. So this is some of our seniors. We got, I think that's Willie Dallas with his butt to us. That's Dusty to the far, Echo right there. This is Hoorah closest to us on the left. On the right is Louie. Then Jax, Coca-Cola, and Bella. And maybe Lewis is in there somewhere too. It's hard to tell. So our seniors, for the people that are watching this for the first time, all of our seniors, they have heated waters, heated stalls for the winter time. They get shredded hay year round. When donkeys or horses, they get older, their grinding surface on their teeth. It gets less and less. So it's really hard for them to actually chew up their food, big pieces of straw or hay when they get older. So we basically make the pieces really small, do a grinder, shredder, and feed them that way. One major cause of donkeys and horses passing away is impactions. This kind of helps prevent impactions. This right here is, I think there's 7 boys right here. Jason, Samwise, Frodo, Hawkeye, Radar, Nicholas. Maybe there's 6. Anyways, these boys right here are all young boys, all around the same age, all orphaned. Their moms were sold to someone else at auction, possibly, or they were taken away from their moms and they were sold at auction, who knows. But they ended up here, and they're doing great. We have 2 in here, Samwise and Frodo. They still have to be castrated, but the other boys in here have been castrated, so they'll be in here until they're castrated. By the time that happens, they'll probably all be friends, and they'll have to be like a 6 or 7 pack of donkeys, because, you know, this is what happens when you ship donkeys together. They become friends. But there's a difference between bonded pairs and friends, in our opinion. We see bonded pairs, they pretty much are always together. Then you see friends that are together sometimes. So like there's a little bit of a difference, and you kind of have to pay attention to know who's who and what's really going on. Oh yeah, there you go, Bandit. Couldn't think of the name. So we moved all the donkeys that are soon to be moms, besides, sorry, all up here to pasture 4. I was off when this happened. I'm unsure. I saw the list, but I'm unsure of who's exactly in here. I can take some guesses. I assume Zoe and Chloe, Ladybug and Gus, Calliope. Who else? That's pretty close. So you have, I think, around 10 to 12 donkeys in here. Can't really go and touch them, but I can show you them. So some of these are kids of expecting moms, and some are expecting moms. Basically, a donkey gives birth after making that baby for 14 months. They give birth, and then 2 weeks later, up to 2 weeks later, they go into heat and they get pregnant again. So a lot of these donkeys, that's what their life was before they arrived at Oscar's place. So this will be their last pregnancy. But everyone is eating. This is pasture 4. We've used this pasture for many of things. We use it for laminitis. We use it we had it as like a weight loss camp, and we've used it as, now we're using it as a birthing pasture, which it has been that before. It's a nice spot. So the rocks are good for donkeys with laminitis because they kind of form to their foot when they walk. It's just a pebble. There's a Francis, couldn't see them. Watson, Simon. Yeah, so we got a little pasture right now, some soon to be moms. Plenty of inside areas. We also had a few donkeys leave us this week. Augie, Owen, Oliver went to one home, and Shannon and Giddies went to another. People always ask how big Oscar's place is. This place is about 75 acres. We utilize probably 30 of them. Maybe a little more. So this pasture over here is pasture 5. It's been a quarantine pasture. It's been a senior pasture. Now it's a transition pasture. So the donkeys that we put into here are going to leave us soon to go to their forever homes. It's kind of transition out of Oscar's place. Still get love from my volunteers all the time. And here we have Paula, Pancake, Olive, Charlie, Rachel, Phoebe, and Olive's baby, Willow. That's Charlie and Pancake playing right there. I can't go in there. I'll keep on walking. So, at Oscar's place, we have a track system here. It's about, our track is about a mile long, so it's a pretty decent walk. And some of these donkeys walk it multiple times a day. Us humans walk it multiple times a day. We have to check the track all the time, because you never know. Anyways, it's a good way to keep donkeys active and, you know, good mindset. There's always somewhere to explore. But also, donkeys are creatures of habit. They love their shade. Yeah, donkeys are friendly. Majority of them. If they're not friendly, they're curious, which shows that they want to be friendly. They're just nervous. So sometimes, you know, it'll take, man, we have a few donkeys here right now that have been here for over 4 years that we still really can't put hands on, but we have worked with them and they will let us like touch them, but it's always under circumstances we have to work with them. Like they need a dental, or they need their feet trimmed, or whatever the case may be. So we do put our hands on them and, you know, halter them and work with them, but if it was their choice, they would never let us do that. And then you have other donkeys that the second you walk into a pasture, they're at your hip like a dog, and wherever you go, they go. So there's two totally different types of donkeys, and there's some in the middle of that. But I'd say a majority of the donkeys are pretty friendly. And to be fair, lots of donkeys that arrive at Oscar's place are really just nervous and scared. And our volunteers help bring them around to help them trust humans, either for the first time or again, whatever the case may be. So this is still pasture 1 right here, this whole area, the main barn's up there. So the donkeys can go way up there or hang out down in this lower pasture, or they can go up that hill right there and walk down a mile-long track to the front of the property to eat. This pasture right here is pasture 6. It's where we keep a lot of the boys. In the wild, it's normally a bunch of females in a herd and a couple boys. So it's just, we've learned from experience that keeping separate pastures with different ratios of donkeys is a way to monitor behavior, and it just helps everyone overall. because the boys play really rough with each other. And if they were trying to play with a young little boy, someone could get really hurt. We don't want that happening. Everybody keeps mentioning me getting steps in. I bet you I turned off that feature because I was tired of them telling me I walked like 18 miles. And one day it's like, I know I walk a lot. You guys don't have to remind me. This right here is Big John, Sonny. Who is that? Dudley maybe? Or Wilby? It's hard to tell. Anyways, we started a lot of our white donkeys. It's really white animals in general will have skin conditions or skin problems. So before we have any issues going on, we started putting on fly mask on our white donkeys here. It just helps keeps the flies off and helps protect their skin, because usually white donkeys will have skin exposed around their eyes where the fur doesn't grow, and they can get sunburn really bad, and that can lead to long-term problems. And Big John also had some eye cancer that he had removed, so this is just a precaution for him. But anyways, this is our boys' pasture. It's pretty big. Plenty of inside areas, plenty of hill. Then we have, this is our newest addition pasture. It's over here, it's pasture 7. It's just a big open field with a lake that dries up in the summertime. It's just rainwater collects. Lots of shade, lots of trees. So we do put zinc. I think it's called zinc oxide. It's like basically sunscreen for equine. We do use that stuff on some of our donkeys, but to prevent. So the problem with putting on zinc oxide, it's like this white cream. It's pretty thick and pasty. You put it on them, then they go and rub their face in the dirt, and now they have dirt literally like in their eye, around their eyes, stuck in the cream. So to prevent that, we started doing fly mask, which helps with UV protection. So this is pasture 7. I don't think we have a sign yet. All of our pastures are labeled. This one is probably my favorite, just because it's huge and natural. Lots of shade. Lots of time in the winter, we have ducks and geese and all kinds of stuff show up for these little ponds. Oh yeah, and Spencer was set to be adopted. He's right there. But he is not going anywhere anymore. Basically, we all came to the conclusion Spencer's kind of herd bound. It's a new term for us, where he likes his herd, maybe not anyone in particularly, but he just likes being part of the herd. And we pretty much noticed that when he went to the transition pasture out. That's part of the transition pasture to monitor for change in behavior. And he definitely showed some change in behavior. So the people that were set to adopt Spencer are going to come out and look for another donkey. We're going to introduce them possibly to Bray Bray and a few others. Just kind of donkeys that are kind of solo and feel like they'd fit in with another small family. Yeah, that's Spencer. I want to say right there is Bray Bray. Can't tell. The problem with donkeys and horses and winter to summer coats is in the wintertime they look like a completely different donkey than they do in the summertime. So you get used to looking at them, and then all of a sudden they don't even look the same anymore. That happens to me a lot. So I'll get confused often on who's who. So that's our Pasture 7. It's 10:30. I'm going to switch over to Instagram. If you guys follow us on there, you should come over and check out Instagram. Hope you guys have a good Memorial Day weekend. See you next week.